So here's a new chapter, probability. Let's take up exercise 15.1 of the NCERT. The first question, probability of an event E and the probability of an event not E will always be equal to 1. Which means, to take an example, probability of winning a game plus the probability of not winning a game will always be equal to 1. The sum of the probabilities is always equal to 1. The probability of an event that cannot happen is 0. It's impossible event. Such an event is called an impossible event, which never happens. The probability is always 0. The probability of an event that is certain to happen will be 1. Such an event is called a certain event. Now, why is it 1? Suppose you play 10 games, and of the 10 games you win all the 10 games. The probability will be 10 out of 10, which is 1. So the probability of a certain event, event that will definitely happen, is 1. Like the probability of the sun rising every day. If you have 365 days in a year, the sun rises 365 days out of 365 every day. So probability will be 1. The sum of the probabilities of all the elementary elements of an experiment is again 1. If you add up the different possibilities in an event and you add up the probabilities, it will always be equal to 1. The probability of an event is greater than or equal to 0 and less than or equal to 1. So the probability could be of any event, the probability could be 0 or any number between 0, and the maximum number for the probability is 1. So the probability always lies between 0 and 1, 0, 1 included. So this is where the values of all probabilities lie. They will never be less than 0, they will never be negative, nor will be more than 1. Now we need to find out which of these experiments are likely to happen. A driver attempts to start a car and the car starts or does not start. Now if the car were to start or not start, this would depend on a lot of factors, like maybe it would depend on the fuel, it would depend on the engine, and many factors. So we cannot say is there an equal probability or no equal probability. We cannot mention because we do not right now have the enough information. Thus we can say the experiment has not equally likely outcomes. For the next, a player attempts to shoot a basketball. She or he shoots or misses the shot. Now this again would depend on many factors. So since it depends on many other factors, so we couldn't say it has got equal, it is not equally likely. It's not an equally likely event. Now for the third one, a trial is made to answer true or false question. What is the probability of it being right or wrong? Now here there can be only two options. Either it could be right or wrong. So we have two options which could be equally likely. So it is an equally likely event. because the trial has got two possibilities, either right or wrong. For next, a baby boy is born. Is it a boy or a girl? Now here again, there are only two options, and that could be a boy or a girl. There's equal possibility it could be a boy or a girl. So here we could say it is an equally likely event. It is an equal likely event. Why is tossing a coin considered to be a fair way of deciding which team should get the ball at the beginning of a football game? Now when we have a coin, we just have two options. It could be a head, which will denote as H, or it could be a tail, which we denote as T. So the probability of an event here, we know, is always number of favorable outcomes over total number of outcomes. Now if it comes in the case of a head, the probability of getting a head of a head now would be, we write as PH. It could be 1 out of 2. There are two outcomes, one could be the head. And the probability of getting tail which will denote as PT. It could be 1 out of 2. 1 is a favorable outcome, you can get one tail, and total outcomes are 2, so 1 out of 2. So thus we see both the probability of getting a head is equal to probability of getting a tail. Since both the outcomes are equal, tossing a coin is a fair way. Since both the probabilities are equal. Which of the following cannot be the probability of an event? And this is minus. Probability is never equal to negative. So minus 1.5 cannot be the probability of any event, is never negative. The probability of an event is 0.05. What is the probability of not an event? Now we know probability of an event plus probability of not an event equal to 1. So probability of an event is 0.05, it's given here. So plus probability of not event will be equal to 1. So probability of not event equal to 1 minus 0.05, which is equal to 0.95. Total probability is always equal to 1. A bag contains lemon flavored candies. Malini takes out one candy without looking into the bag. What is the probability that she takes out an orange flavored candy? Now in the bag there are no orange flavored candy. Which means she will never get an orange flavored candy because all are lemon flavored. So the probability of getting an orange flavored candy will be 0 because it's an impossible event. In the next sum, they said, what is the probability of getting a lemon flavored candy? Now, all candies are lemon flavored. All the candies are lemon flavored. So if she picks up any candy, it has to be lemon flavored. So the probability of getting lemon flavor will be 1. It's a sure event. She'll definitely get a lemon flavored because all the candies are lemon flavored. It's a certain event. This is a certain event. Therefore, the possibility is 1. In this case, it's an impossible event. Because all are lemon flavored, you will not get an orange flavor out there. It is given that in a group of 3 students, the probability of 2 students not having the same birthday is 0.992. What is the probability that the 2 students have the same birthday? We know the probability of an event plus the probability of not having that event is always equal to 1. Now in this case, the probability of having of the event is 0.992. So what is the probability of not having that event? Let's check up on that. So probability of not having the event, we at times write it in this manner, equal to 1 minus 0.992. And if we subtract this, probability of not having the event, which is that 2 students do not have the same, that 2 students have the same birthday, will be 1 minus 0.0092, which is 0.008. So the probability that 2 students have the same birthday is equal to 0.008. A bag contains 3 red balls and 5 black balls. A ball is drawn at random from the bag. What is the probability that the ball drawn is a red ball and not red? So let us take up the first one. What is the probability it is a red ball? So first, the total number of balls are 3, which is red, plus 5 that are black, that is 8. Now the probability of getting a red ball will be number of red balls over total outcomes, or total balls in this case. We know the number of red balls are 3 over, and the total balls are 3 plus 5, that is 8. So the probability of getting a red ball will be 3 out of 8. The next part, they said, what is the probability of not a red? So second, we find what is the probability of not red. So we have to see the number of balls that are not red over total outcomes. Now we see the ones that are not red are 5, because 5 are black balls. So 5 are not red, and the total we know are 8. So that will be over 8. So this is the probability of not red, 5 out of 8. A box contains 5 red marbles, 8 white marbles, and 4 green marbles. So let's just write that first. So it contains the red marbles, we'll write in red. So number of red marbles, 5. Now for white marbles, this is number of white marbles is 8. And then we have the green marbles. So number of green marbles equal to 4. So in the first step we find the total marbles. So total marbles we add up, that is 5 plus 8 and plus 4 equals 17. So total outcomes are 17. The first question says, what is the probability of red marbles? So for the first one, the probability of red will be number of red marbles over total marbles or total outcomes. And we have seen the number of red marbles are 5. So that will be 5. And total marbles are 17. So it will be 5 over 17. The next question is the number of white marbles. So number of white. Okay, the probability of white marbles, let's write that out. The probability of white marbles will be number of white marbles divided by total marbles. So we see that the white marbles here are 8. So 8 over total marbles are 17. So 8 over 17 is a probability of white marbles. And the last one is, what is the probability of not green? So for the third, if it is not green, so how many marbles are not green? So we have not green, favorable outcomes. And what is favorable outcome is not green. So we have 3 kinds of marbles. We have the red, we have the 5 that are red, plus 8 that are white, plus 4 that are green. And here they saying not green. So we've got to get away the green marbles. We remove the green marbles. And when we add these now, 8 plus 5, and that would be 13. So the probability of not green will be, there are 13 marbles that are not green. So 13 over 17 marbles which are the total. So probability of not green is 13 out of 17. So remember here we have taken the red and the white. We have not taken the green marbles because the question was not green. A piggy bank contains 150 coins. So 50 paise coins are 100. Then it contains 50 coins of 1 rupee. So 1 rupee coins are 50. Then next it contains 22 rupee coins. So 2 rupee coins it has got 20. 10 5 rupee coins. So when it comes to 5 rupee coins, there are 10 of them. So the total number of coins, in this case, the total coins, which is total outcomes, will be, you add up all this and you get 180. So remember, total coins or total outcomes for this sum is 180. Now the question is, what is the probability it will be a 50 paise coin? So first is probability of a 50 paise coin will be favorable outcomes, number of favorable outcome over total outcomes. Now the favorable outcome here is of 50 paise. And how many 50 paises do we have? We have 100 50 paises. So it will be 100. And the total outcomes we know is 80. So 100 over 180. And when you reduce this, you get 5 over 9. The next part of the sum, they say, will not be 5 coins. So what we do is we have to strike away the 5 coins. So we have to strike away this 10 coins. So we have favorable outcomes. And remember, what is the favorable outcomes? Not 5 rupee coins. So we got to remove the 5 rupee coins. So we have 100 coins of 50 paise. So we put that 100. Plus we have 50 coins of 1 rupee. So plus 50. We have 20 coins of 2 rupees. So plus 20. We are not going to add this 10 because it has not to be 5 rupees. So we won't add this 10. So the favorable outcomes now come 170. So the probability of not 5 rupees will be, this is the favorable 170 favorable over total outcomes. Total outcomes 180 over 180, which is 17 over 18. Gopi buys a fish from a shop for his aquarium, and the shopkeeper takes out 1 fish at random from a tank containing 5 male fish and 8 female fish. What is the probability that the fish taken out is a male fish? So first we have to know what is the total outcomes. So we have 2 kinds of fish. We have the male fish and the female fish. And as the sum says, there are 5 male and 8 female. So 5 and 8. So total outcome will be 5 plus 8, and that is 13. Those are total outcomes. Now a favorable outcome is a male fish. So which means the probability of a male fish will be number of male fish over total outcomes or total fish. So number of male fish we see are 5. So 5 over total outcome are 13. So 5 out of 13. A game of chance consisting of a spinning an arrow which comes to rest pointing at one of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 as seen in the figure, and these are equally likely outcomes. What is the probability that it will point at? First, in this we see total outcomes. We always have to start writing with total outcomes. And the number on the spinning board is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the total outcomes are 8. So we have total outcomes is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the total outcomes are equal to 8 in number. The first question is, what is the probability to get 8? So the first one, how many 8s are there? There is only 1 8 there. So the probability to get number 8 will be 1 out of 8. Favorable outcomes is 1. There is only one favorable outcome, 8. 8 comes only once. The next is, what is the probability of an odd number? So second, let's see favorable outcomes. And the favorable outcomes in this case is a odd number. So which are the odd numbers? 1, 3, 5, 7. So we write that now. Odd is 1, 3, 5, 7. So the favorable outcomes are 4 in number. So the probability of getting an odd number will be favorable outcomes are 4, total outcomes are 8. That is 1 out of 2. Next is the probability of getting greater than 2. So greater than 2 means 2 is not included. Greater than 2 will be 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So this is greater than 2. So the favorable outcomes, as we said, was greater than 2. That was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So number of favorable outcomes equal to, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of them. So we write that as 6 number of favorable outcomes, and the probability of greater than 2 is 6. Total outcomes are 8. So that would be 3 out of 4. The next is a number less than 9. Now if you look up at on the spinning wheel, all the numbers are less than 9. 1 is less than 9, 2 is less than 9, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All are less than 9. So you don't even have to calculate the probability. You say the probability is 1 because all numbers are less than 9. So the favorable outcomes are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And remember, it has to be less than 9. So how many favorable outcomes do we have? Number of favorable outcomes equal to 8. And the probability of getting less than 9 will be number of favorable outcomes, that is 8, over total outcomes, which is also 8. So the probability is 1.